Hi, welcome to SMAC's video tutorials. In this tutorial we'd like to talk a bit more about the responsive design tool and the containers. Let's have a look and go in and see what we mean by containers. You can see here we've got a container with a line, a box. We've got another container here. We've got another container here. So we've got three containers on this page. We've got a sidebar, left sidebar, we've got our main content area, and we've got our right sidebar. So let's go back in and see how this works. We've got a sidebar, left sidebar, which is this red. We've got a sidebar here, and we've got our main text. So we've got three columns in this setup. We'll always have a main text, but we could just have main text without sidebars. So we've now just got the main text which is filling up the whole page. We haven't got any sidebars. So that's quite nice. The main text is filling up the whole page. You might want to just fill up in a content area on the page. So normally if you've just got the main text, you'll want to do this. You'll just have the main text in this area. But then we've got the menu bar, which will also want to be in the same container. So in the menu bar we'll do the same. So we'll take the full screen option off, and now you can see we've got everything fitting nicely indeed. So let's look at the containers and how that works. We'll just work with this container at the moment. So if we go in fonts, everything is in a container. So we go back in here and we look at the container. So in here we've got the main text container. We've turned off the sidebar, this sidebar. We've turned off this sidebar. So now all we're going to do is format this container. So these three layers are very important because each one of these has a container layer. They're different than other layers. Click the three, you can see each one as a container, but these ones don't have a container. See? But these ones do. This area here, this is a container. This sidebar, you can see there's nothing in the container, so really we haven't got any border or anything. So that's the way we wanted this design. So let's have a look at our container. This is our container here. This gives us a preview of the container. If we wanted to update all our three containers, we click this button and then click save. That will update all of them. So at the moment we can see we've got a white background on here. We've got a border, a very, very slight border. So now we're going to change the border to red. Click save. And now we can see we've now got a red border in that container. So we refresh this one, and now we go back in here and have a look and see. So now we've got a red container. We can see now how our edits actually affect the container. You can see we get a preview of the container in here as well. So in this container we've got a padding of 15. We have a padding of 50. You can see we've got a large, usually you're going to have 15. We can have a shadow in the container. Obviously we can make the font larger. You can see now we're getting a preview. Corner size 10. So we save that, refresh, and now let's have a look now. This is not going to look very good, but I want to show you how our edits are affecting containers. Okay. So now let's have a look at, let's bring these ones back again. So now we've got this narrow design. Okay, so let's bring back our large design again. And then we bring back our menu, large, refresh, and now we're back on our large. We can see our big container here. So I want to put a container on here. This sidebar. We can see we haven't got anything in here. So we've got our usual padding, we've got the background is transparent, so I'm going to set the background a very slight grey, okay, and I'm going to put a border, 1 pixel border, and corner size 3, and I want the border just to be slight, just a slight, there we go, doesn't need to be too much. And this time we're going to have a shadow and spread size, so you can see you can really experiment. Now if I didn't have a spread, it would just be distance spread 3, that gives us a glow. So let's save that, and now we see how that's going to change our site. So now we've got this area, we've got a nice glow on this. So that's quite nice. So obviously these are all dependent on your design, how you like your design, but you can see here we have a preview in here, so that's quite nice. Save that. Okay, that's good. So now we've got 2 layers that we've changed. These aren't the best practice in web design, but they show you how the system is put together. So in the sidebar plus, we've also got a transparent setup. So let's have a play with that. So we put our background again to white. This could be it. You can have the background any color you like. But this time we're going to use a preset. We're going to fill this area with a preset image. So in here we've got all sorts of different images we could fill that container with. Now obviously this really is, we've got, I think there's about 10,000 images that you could put in here. Obviously that really, a lot of them aren't going to work very well, but it's really just to show you the possibilities of this software. It really is so easy to change. Now we've got square, we've got dashed, so we've got groove. Let's go dashed. This is going to look awful, but you'll see how we can customize, and once we've got an idea of how we want our page to look, we can have it looking exactly the way we want it. So we've got 3 different setups here now. So let's go back to our edit page again. Let's turn off these and have main text. Let's now tidy up main text a bit better. So we've got border, we've got a very slight border, we've got 1 pixel border, we've got background, we've got corner size 3, save that. And then we're going to have a preset, and the preset we're going to have is like a metallic sort of sheen to it. That's quite nice. And then you could have a that has to be 0, and the spread is going to be 5, and make that really strong, and I want a spread of 7 even. Now look at this now. So now if we refresh this one, you can see we've got another actually we can see it better if we put this on narrow. We can see that working better. Let's have a look now. So here is our page now. Fonts there. So you can see very powerful indeed. The changes that we made there were just to show you how and the things that you can do, not necessarily the best practice, which is why I always like to have a snapshot. I restore that snapshot and have a look now at my very nice setup. I quite like this, but you can do anything you like with this software. Well, we hope actually before I leave you, we have the same for the footer. So these 4 containers have this style. So we've got our footer here, we've got a grey. So if we look at we've got a container left, sidebar left, main text, sidebar right, and then we've got our footer, which is this grey. And that can also be styled exactly the same and made full width, and that's the text color inside the footer. I think we've covered everything. That's another long video, but these are really key points to managing your website and making your website exactly the way you want it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.